Hey man, what's up you guys? Man, I know it's been a minute since I came and dropped some information on the page. I just been a little busy, so I apologize about that. But lately I've been doing a lot of research into Harriet Tubman. Okay, and so what I want to do, I just want to take about a minute or two. I'm not going to take up too much of your day. I just want to give you guys some information that I learned about Harriet Tubman. Now, this isn't the only book that I've been getting my information from, but this is a really good read, you guys. Look at this. The Underground Railroad records. There's an amazing African American who was alive during slavery, during the Civil War, and after, named William Steele. If you ever saw the new Harriet Tubman movie, Harriet, William Steele is actually in the movie. This is a real guy who they call the father of the Underground Railroad, and he kept these immaculate records of a lot of the individuals that gained their freedom on the Underground Railroad, and a lot of information on the conductors of the Underground Railroad, and a lot of information on the people that owned homes and businesses that assisted with the Underground Railroad. And there were even organizations and societies that gave money to the individuals on the Underground Railroad. Because what you have to understand is, when an individual was trying to escape from the brutalities of slavery, a lot of times they didn't have any money, right? They didn't have a lot of resources. If they did, they could sometimes quite possibly buy their own freedom, but the journey cost the money. A lot of times when you would go to an individual's house, right, the individuals that had houses and businesses where the slaves could hide out on their way from the south to the north, a lot of these people offer their services for free, but because of the risk involved, some people they did want to be paid, and we can't fault them for that. So you had a lot of different groups and a lot of different societies that was helping out. And so we actually have records, right? We actually have records written by African Americans, written by ex-slaves, that talk about Harriet Tubman. I saw this crazy video. Some guy named Dan Calloway. He has a crazy video where he's saying that Harriet Tubman is a fictional character. I didn't even watch the video, so I don't even know the angle that he's coming from. I don't even know what he's talking about. But you have to be a damn fool. And I apologize about the language, but sometimes you got to just give it to people straight. You have to be a damn fool if you let anyone tell you that Harriet Tubman is a fictitious, made-up character. You have to be a damn fool. They have pictures of this woman. They have her actual grave site. They have the home that she lived in. They have the home that her father lived in. Well, the area where her father's home was at. You have European sources of individuals who met her and talked to her. She was buried with, she was buried with full military honors, because she actually worked with the Union Army during the Civil War to help them conduct raids in the Confederacy, right? You have documented records of individual slaves who gained their freedom, who said that Harriet Tubman is the one that led them to freedom. Okay, so it's crazy, but it was just a couple of things that I wanted to tell you guys about Miss Harriet Tubman that I thought were very, very interesting. Number one, Harriet Tubman was a small woman. She was only about 4'11". Okay, when she escaped to freedom, she was only free for a short amount of time, and she wanted to go back to get her family. Do you know that at one point in her life, she went back to save her two brothers? So she went back into the South. She went back to the plantation where her two brothers was at. She told them that she had made it to freedom. She told them that she could show them the way to freedom. They got excited. They left with her. As the story goes, as she tells it, as soon as they got to an area where they could no longer physically see the plantation, the brothers lost their nerves, they lost their heart, and as opposed to believing in their sister and going on to freedom, they chose to go back into slavery. She got her father free. I believe she went back and got her mother. I believe she had some sisters that she went and got back. She actually led hundreds of people to freedom. Another interesting fact about Harriet Tubman, she was so serious about the work that she was doing. She used to carry a pistol. They like to give us an image of this meek, mild, humble lady. And while she might be, she was also about that business. She used to carry a pistol. And whenever she would be taking people from the plantation to freedom, she would always tell them that you cannot turn back. And her theory was a live runaway who defected and went back to the plantation could do harm to the entire Underground Railroad system. This was an organized system to get people free. But she said that a dead man could tell no secrets. So it wasn't that she wanted to murder her family, her friends, her loved ones, the people that the members of her race that she was trying to get free. It wasn't that she wanted to murder them, but what she was saying was, once you've already embarked on this journey, once you already know the locations of some of the houses, once you already know some of the trails, once you already know some of the names, once you already know some of the system, if you go back and tell all of this, you jeopardize everybody who has gotten free, everybody who is helping people get free, and you will make it impossible for individuals to get free using these means in the future. Frederick Douglass, another powerhouse in African American history, Frederick Douglass knew this, and Frederick Douglass, he escaped to freedom, and when he got free, he published his autobiography, The Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. Now, in that narrative, he tells that he escaped to freedom, but he has enough presence of mind to state, since this was published before the end of slavery, before slavery was abolished, he had the presence of mind to say that I can't explain exactly how I got free because there are still people using those means to get free, so he knew not to give up the game. Another interesting fact that Harriet Tubman, I already alluded to, is she was so thorough. She was so thorough that when the Civil War kicked off, the Union Army used her to help them go on raids and to spy things out and to give messages to the plantations, to let the slaves on the plantations in the South know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. She even led a raid. She is the only woman recorded that we know about right now, not of any race, not even just the only black woman. It wasn't a white woman that did this. She was the only woman in the history of the Civil War that we currently know about that led any type of raid in the Civil War. Now that's powerful, because here we have an ex-slave, right, that got herself free, put herself in harm's way. A small lady put herself in harm's way, carrying that pistol, making multiple trips back into the South to get her friends and family free. Then when the Civil War kicked off, she got on the side of the Union Army and she led a raid, and 007 ain't got nothing on Harriet Tubman. Another interesting fact about Harriet Tubman, I already alluded to it, she was buried with full military honors. I want you to think about this. The woman couldn't read and write, but she had to be intelligent and she had to have that heart. Another interesting fact about Harriet Tubman, when she died, she owned 32 acres of land. On those 32 acres of land, she built not one, but two homes. Her first home burnt down, so she had another home built that was built out of brick. Another interesting fact about Harriet Tubman, Harriet Tubman had a hospital built on her land. Harriet Tubman had a house dedicated to the European abolitionist John Brown on her land. She also had a home built for like the elderly, a place built for the elderly. This woman created an empire. You know, and I'm saying it like this because in all of my research and all of my studies and all of my reading about history and whatnot, this woman died in 1913 and she's directly connected to me, not blood lineage, but I'm saying I'm a descendant of the people that was enslaved in America. She is a descendant of the people that were enslaved in America. And not only that, she was actually enslaved in America. So I'm directly connected to her. And I did not know how great this woman was. When they was talking about putting on a $20 bill, I know about the Underground Railroad, but I didn't know how deep it went. I knew she got some people free, but I didn't know how deep it went. I didn't understand. I didn't understand who she was. You know, when she was on the Underground Railroad, another interesting fact, she say that she's the only conductor who conducted people on the Underground Railroad who can make this claim and make this boast. She never lost not one passenger. It is said that when she led the raid with the Union Army against the Confederacy, nobody on her side was killed. What this lady did was amazing. What this lady did was magnificent. What this lady did was so far beyond the realm of what we think is possible. We have to take a more in-depth look at her life. And I'm saying this to the African-American community and anybody that's interested in history in general, but we have to take a real hard look at that woman. What motivated her? What pushed her? What guided her? What did she have? And how can we tap into that as well? right? Harriet Tubman was a beast. You know, Harriet Tubman was a beast. And if you can, get this Underground Railroad records by William Steele. It's nothing but records of African Americans who found their way to freedom. You know, and you hear from their own mouths. But Harriet Tubman was a beast. More on that later. This your brother Matthew Daniels, the real bookworm. Hotel. Y'all have a nice day.